As you may have seen, Ryan was asked to leave the show, and
if you don't want to be called Nazis, stop doing.
You're called an
anti-Semite
more than anyone else's table.
Yeah.
And people will sit there and no, by me. I never called you an anti-Semite. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying I don't.
I'm a supporter of the Palestinians, so I'm used to it.
Yeah. I hope your beeper doesn't go off.
Triggered. I'm triggered.
What's going on, guys? We got to talk about this CNN panel imploding because this guy Ryan Girdusky made a comment that Mehdi Hasan, Abby Phillip, and the rest of the woke crying Negro network decided to have a meltdown about. Now, you guys know how I feel about racism, where I feel like in general, if somebody intends for it to be negative or malicious, then they're bad. But if they kind of just say something off the cuff and it's an accident or they apologize, then maybe it's not really that big of a deal. But that's not how the woke leftists work. No forgiveness. Okay, they don't forgive anything, and they just want to seize any opportunity to destroy you, which is basically what they did to Ryan. Take a look.
If you don't want to be called Nazis, stop doing.
You're called an anti-Semite more than anyone else's table.
Yeah.
And people will sit there and no, by me. I never called you an anti-Semite. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying
I'm a supporter of the Palestinians, so I'm used to it.
Yeah, I hope your beeper doesn't go off. The thing is that
you just say I should die?
You should not.
No,
did you just say I should be killed?
No, I did not say that. No, I did not say that.
Hold on.
Did your guest just say I should be killed on live TV?
I said I hope
guys,
you don't.
let me just stop.
You said you hope my beeper doesn't go off.
Because you said I'm a big supporter
of the Palestinians.
Of Hamas.
Guys, let me
said
stop.
Palestinian.
Are you a supporter
Am I
of
what?
Hamas?
No, of course I'm not.
Palestinians are not.
I apologize.
Are you a racist, violent person inciting violence against me?
Ryan,
That's disgusting.
that is completely.
No, I apologize.
Good
that
job,
is
CNN.
completely
Let's have first
out
block
of
say the
pocket.
Muslim guy
You
should
know
be
that.
blown
No, I
up
apologize.
on
I
TV.
apologize.
Don't say then I
Wow.
apologize. You literally.
Don't
I
say
thought he said
accused
Hamas.
him.
I apologize.
You didn't think I said
No.
Hamas.
Yes,
I said I
did.
supported
Yes, I did.
Palestinian
Yes, I
rights.
did.
Why? Because when you hear
What's funny
Palestinian,
is
you're
Rudy
a Hamas.
Giuliani said this
No,
yesterday,
because-
so you're a great guest to
Listen.
be here
All
to
right,
defend
I
Rudy
told
Giuliani.
myself
Give me
I
one-
wasn't going to
give me-
entertain
give me one
nonsense
second.
today, and so at this point,
This is what we're in
I
now.
can't
This
do
is America in
Okay. Here's
2024.
what I will say.
Forget the
Here's what
racism.
That's right.
It's I should
That's
die.
right.
I didn't say that. You
You
should
said,
die.
what does beeper mean? Don't give me your
I
fake
did not
ignorance.
say you should
Guys,
die.
Why did you say
guys,
with my
give me-
beeper
give me
go
So
off?
what did you mean?
What did you mean by the beeper?
So what
I
did
said-
you mean?
What did you mean by the
No,
beeper?
no, no, no,
No, you didn't. You said, I hope your beeper doesn't go off.
Ryan, stop talking.
At least have the guts to support your racist comment.
Hang on.
I'm so sorry.
Let her bring it back. Let her bring it back.
This is why yesterday's rally was disgusting.
Don't call us
and
Nazis, but I'm going to
outrageous.
threaten the brown guy as a
This is
terrorist
why.
and kill him.
Because I didn't ever say Donald Trump was Hitler. But do you know who stood on a stage yesterday and said, I want to come to the Nazi rally? I don't have to make up words and call you something. You're saying it for yourself. And what you just said
Kamala
right
Harris
here,
is a pimp.
apologize, but I will tell you, I don't accept that apology, and you didn't even
That's
say it to
fine.
me.
I didn't say it
that
to
was
you.
disgusting. But I can be offended when you don't even say it to me. I'm not Puerto Rican, but I was offended by what he said yesterday. And I'm offended that the former president and potentially future president would allow it and go for 12 hours and not say, I don't care. Because you know what? When Kamala Harris put out statements about switching up opinions, it wasn't good enough for Republicans.
Why are you looking at me?
Because you said it.
Why don't you take this back a little bit and let her take the show?
You know what? No, listen.
You're kind of monopolizing
Ashley,
her show.
No.
Crazy.
Hold on one
Because
second.
I'm surprised you wouldn't even say what he
Listen,
just said.
we have a lot of. Hang on a second.
Yeah, I do.
We have a lot of heated conversations on this show. That is
Let
true.
her take it back.
But one of the things that I do not appreciate is when we cross the line. Okay? I don't appreciate that.
I apologize.
And
I
I appreciate the apology, but I don't want a conditional apology for saying something that is completely. It is not civil in the slightest.
I misheard what he had said.
Okay?
I thought he said Hamas.
There are lines here.
Yeah, I went on CNN and said I support Hamas. What kind of idiots do you take us for?
We got to stop this
that's
stuff.
what you said.
Ridiculous thing
We
to
have
say.
to stop this stuff, okay? We're going to go to the break now because I don't think anybody was served by what just happened. But let this be a reminder that there is a too far. There's a too far in our politics and there's a too far at this table, okay? Let's not let that happen again. Everyone stick around for us. Coming up.
Guys, what a freaking mess that this is. You saw how Miss Bug-Eyed Chick here loves to try to liken this back to Trump. Like, nobody's even talking about Trump. This is an individual interaction between these two in which the way that this went down, I disagree with the way that this went down. So apparently, like, I can't find a longer clip than that, but apparently this guy was basically kicked off the panel after this and was not allowed to basically continue speaking at all in this panel, okay? But look at the way that this situation went down. You got Mehdi Hasan over here, along with many others, calling this like a Nazi rally and saying, basically, this guy Ryan was complaining about Republicans being called Nazis. Mehdi saying, well, you guys shouldn't have Nazi rallies if you don't want to be called Nazis. But nobody finds offense with that. And this is what pisses me off. Honestly, it pisses me off about Democrats, about these woke leftists, these fake outraged people, is that you got, think about what it means to be called a Nazi, okay? These were Hitler's soldiers, okay? Hitler was responsible as a leader, but guess who carried out the actual malicious acts and the killings? Was the Nazis. The Nazis were the ones breaking in people's homes and taking them to the camps and doing horrible things to them, gassing them, shooting them, starving them to death, and who knows what other malicious things, a myriad of malicious things. The actual ones who did the dirty work, who had the blood on their hands, were the Nazis. And they're trying to say that people like me and this Ryan fellow and basically any Republican is a Nazi. Like, we got blood on our hands. That's what they're comparing us to. Some of the potentially most evil people on the face of the earth who would agree to carry out these things, be it orders or not. And when this guy makes some sort of quippy type remark about a beeper, oh my gosh, I'm clutching my pearl, could you? Are you guys serious? Is this real right now? This pisses me off so bad because I'm so tired of these woke leftists being just so outraged. And you saw how the dude, he kind of knew, he apologized because he knew where he was at. And he knew that they was gonna like, oh man, I done messed up. You know, these people woke, so let me go ahead and apologize. No. You should have stood on business. If it was me, I wouldn't apologize because I don't care if it's offensive. I don't care if it's male versus female. I don't care how they take it, because if you know in your spirit you're not meaning any harm, don't apologize, because the second you apologize, then they smell blood in the water. You saw how they dogpiled him, and you saw how Abby told him, Ryan, just don't talk anymore. Like, what the hell? I'd be like, Abby, I don't know who the hell you think you is, but if I got something to say, I'm going to say it. You're not going to tell me not to talk. We're not about to just be shutting me the hell up because you think I said something offensive. I don't give a damn if you're offended. How about that? How about fuck you being offended? How about that? She went on record 2 separate times, to basically pearl clutch and fake outrage some more, saying, oh, I'm so sorry that the evil Nazi made a joke about the beeper blowing up.
We're back here, and before we get started, I want to just address what happened in the last segment. And first, I want to apologize to Mehdi Hasan for what was said at this table. It was completely unacceptable. When we get this discussion started, you'll see that Ryan is not at the table. There is a line that was crossed there, and it's not acceptable to me. It's not acceptable to us at this network. We want discussion. We want people who disagree with each other to talk to each other. But when you cross the line of a complete lack of civility, that is not going to happen here on this show. It's a heated time. We're in the middle of a political season. We are 8 days from a presidential election. But we can have conversations about what is happening in this country without resorting to the lowest of the lowest kind of discourse. Want to address that, and I want to apologize to the viewers at home because we want to be able to hear each other, we want to be able to talk to each other, and we plan to do that in this next segment. Hey, I'm sure everyone has seen what happened on the show tonight. I just wanted to address one quick thing. As you may have seen, Ryan was asked to leave the show, and we have put out a statement saying that he's not welcome back on our air. There is a line here on this program, and it was crossed. But I want to be clear as well that we did not ask Mehdi to not come back. In fact, we really wanted him to come back and finish the show. We had a lot to talk to him about. And we really hope that he'll join us again soon. But for those of you who are wondering why he did not come back, I just want to be super clear that that was not in any way because we didn't want him back. at all. And I won't speak for him, but I just wanted to make sure that you all knew that that was not what happened there.
And guys, here's the thing. See, Mehdi Hasan, he used to work for MSNBC. I actually had a video about this guy getting exposed a while ago. Well, it was me kind of exposing him because he already was busted. He was criticizing Israel like basically day after day after day. And even the woke leftists had to can him. You can't just get on TV and criticize Israel. That's not how it works. So they canned him, and he has made plenty of heinous remarks himself about all sorts of people. I'm going to go ahead and react to it with y'all. Let's take a look.
In Islam, the ends do not justify the means. This idea is totally alien to Islam. In Islam, what is halal is halal, what is haram is haram. We do not bend our law, our morality for our short-term aims. Never. And we never lose the moral high ground. If we know anything of Shia of Muhammad, as Shia of Ali, as Shia of Hassan, as Shia of Hussein, we know that keeping the moral high ground is key. Once we lose the moral high ground, we are no different from the rest of the non-Muslims, from the rest of those human beings who live their lives as animals, bending any rule to fulfill any desire.
So, okay, non-Muslims live their lives as animals. You're comparing non-Muslims to animals. I am a Christian male, so I am an animal. I live my life as an animal, and this guy has the moral high ground over me. That's basically what he's saying, something that obviously would not be considered acceptable today. So I'm curious why CNN, it's like, do they just feel like if it's been long enough that it just don't matter or something? Like, well, not enough people know about that, so we could just pretend to not know about it. Because they know about this, right? They have like whole teams of people. Like, I don't know how many people, but I know it's a lot. They got a big ass building. CNN building is in Atlanta, where I am at. So they got a big ass building. That means they probably got hundreds of people.
And of course the kafirs, the disbelievers, the atheists who remain deaf and stubborn to the teachings of Islam, the rational message of the Quran, they are described in the Quran as, quote, a people of no intelligence. Allah describes us. Not of no morality, not of no belief, a people of no intelligence. Because they are incapable of the intellectual effort it requires to shake off those blind prejudices, to shake off those easy assumptions about this world, about the existence of God. In this respect, the Quran describes the atheists as cattle.
Wow.
As cattle.
Wow. I mean, I'm not a fan of atheists necessarily, but I mean, I don't have a problem with them, but I certainly wouldn't go as far as to call them animals, right? I wouldn't call them cattle. I mean, they're literally referring to a group as animals. And in the Christian faith, obviously we don't like every different type of person, but we try to refrain from referring to them and degrading them as animals. We look at everybody as someone in need of forgiveness if they're doing things that require forgiveness, and we let God judge them. We try not to judge them ourselves, but Mehdi Hasan wouldn't know anything about that.
And do not stop and wonder about this world.
All of these ulama unanimously agree that at the very minimum, if Yazid was not a kafir, then at the very minimum, he was a fasiq, a transgressor, a breaker of Islamic laws, a corrupt individual, a tyrant, a killer, a drunkard, a dog lover, a music lover, a homosexual, a pedophile, a sexual deviant, someone who slept with his own mother, astaghfirullah. These are their views of these ulama in their books, not my view, not Imam Hussein's view, not Ayatollah Sistani's view. This is their view about Yazid. It's all there in black and white. Yet Allah should be pleased with such a man, astaghfirullah. Allah should be pleased with him. Indeed, the fact is, and this is important, Yazid is not simply a fasiq. He was an out-and-out kafir.
This is the guy that they have so much respect for that is still welcome back on the show. I mean, he ain't welcome on my show. Maybe he's welcome on their show. But these people have insane double standards. How do we get to the point where you're disrespecting Jewish people, you're disrespecting conservatives and any type of Republican, you're disrespecting Donald Trump as Hitler, and that's okay. But saying something, hey, I hope your bomb doesn't explode, as a quippy type of remark is seen as like this wildly racist thing. Guys, I mean, seriously, fake news media, if you're listening to this, because there's a good chance that somebody out there is keeping track of what the other smaller creators and other YouTubers and podcasters are doing. But spare me the fake outrage. I could give a flying fuck about you feeling like, oh my gosh, this was such a crazy comment. Okay, it's like you don't live on the same planet. You guys are going and calling people Nazis. As a matter of fact, you guys are the ones who need to apologize to the Americans for saying that this was a Nazi rally. Millions of Americans watched this rally. Thousands of people attended this rally. And you're referring to a guy who almost got killed twice, two and a half times, because there was a third person, but we don't know for sure what the whole situation was with that. But you're referring to him. There's a person who died, Corey Compertour. 2 others were shot. And at any of these events, since you're calling people Nazis, people might be encouraged to commit violent acts against groups at different Trump events. And they've already committed violent acts before, but instead of toning the rhetoric down, you've amped it up even more because you're afraid that you're getting your ass kicked in this election, and it makes me sick. I could give a damn about Mehdi Hasan and his fake outrage. All of these people from MSNBC are fake. All of these people from CNN are fake, and everybody can see it. That's why they've lost all credibility, guys. That's why CNN is like at the bottom. Like these are, I mean, there's a couple of news media networks. You got like Fox and MSNBC and CNN, and CNN is not even like at the top anymore. They used to be at the top, or they used to be close to the top, but now their ratings have fell dramatically. And now instead of like trying to be more neutral, they're getting like more and more deranged. The only neutral thing they did was not even probably intended to be neutral. It was a disastrous town hall with Kamala Harris that was probably intended for her to do good, but she's just so trash that they can't fix her. So instead they try to say, well, maybe if we make Trump look bad enough, then that'll work. Maybe if we make Trump supporters, Republicans, look bad enough, just call them Nazis. Like, you don't want to be associated with Nazis, do you? Don't vote for the Hitler guy. Vote for the diversity, equity, and inclusion people instead. The team of equality, the colored people group, even though now Trump has established a coalition of Arabs, of Puerto Ricans, of blacks, of LGBTQ folks, believe it or not, of whites, of course, right? Women, like there's Indian, Asian, I done seen it all. I can assure you, I have seen so many different groups of people at that Madison Square Garden event alone. I mean, the dude's in New York, the pretty much the melting pot heart of America. And these people are trying to call it a Nazi rally and think that's okay. Mehdi Hasan's still welcome for calling people Nazis. But you make a joke about beepers, then, oh my gosh, I'm clutching my pearls. How could you? I'm so sick of it, guys. I'm so freaking tired of it. These people need to lose this November. It's not about Joe Biden. It's not about Kamala Harris. It's not even just about the woke left. It's about not having this whole machine win. It's not about it's about defeating the fake news. It's about defeating the propagandists, the people that say that when you speak the truth, you're spewing mis and disinformation, the people that lie. It's about defeating the propaganda. That's really what this election is about, is defeating the propaganda so that we can earn more money, live honestly and happily and without being gaslit and lied to every damn day. That's what this is about. It's not about no freaking beeper jokes. It's not about a bunch of fake outrage. It's about making America great again. And that's what we're going to do, regardless of what these woke leftists have to say, regardless of the fake outrage. It don't matter. The W's coming, the walls are closing in, the ceiling's coming down, the curtains closing, and they about to be up a creek without a paddle. those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate y'all watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
You sexist, bigot, racist, stupid cis male!
This is just ridiculous.